In the heart of a bustling metropolis, St. Anne's Hospital towered as a symbol of innovation and hope, its glass facade reflecting both the city's ambition and its unspoken divides. Within its pristine corridors, lives were saved daily, yet whispers of inequality lingered, woven into the very fabric of its celebrated walls. It was here that Dr. Maya Thompson, a trailblazing cardiologist, began her journey, a woman of unmatched skill and quiet determination, navigating a world where excellence often clashed with prejudice. Maya's mornings were a blur of patient charts and urgent consultations, her every step marked by purpose. Yet, even amidst her brilliance, she faced moments that tested her resolve. On one such day, a visiting executive mistook her for a janitor, his assumptions as stark as the sterile white walls around them. Maya's calm correction masked the sting of the encounter, her focus unshaken by the weight of ignorance. Fate soon intervened when the hospital's CEO, a man whose biases were as infamous as his achievements, suffered a sudden medical emergency. Maya, summoned to the scene, led the response with unwavering precision, her hands steady as she fought to stabilize him. In those critical moments, her expertise transcended prejudice, her actions speaking louder than any words could. As the CEO's life hung in the balance, the hospital's unspoken truths came into sharp focus. Maya's triumph was not just in saving a life but in challenging deeply rooted assumptions. Her quiet strength sparked conversations that rippled through St. Anne's, forcing its halls to confront the biases they had long ignored. St. Anne's Hospital, nestled in the heart of a sprawling metropolis, was a marvel of modern architecture. Its glass facade reflected the city's relentless energy, while its pristine, high-tech interiors symbolized hope for those seeking healing. Behind the scenes, however, the institution grappled with systemic biases, a stark contrast to its outward reputation for excellence. The staff, a mix of seasoned professionals and ambitious newcomers, navigated a labyrinth of unspoken hierarchies shaped by tradition and privilege. Dr. Maya Thompson, a trailblazing cardiologist, had risen from humble beginnings in a working-class neighborhood. Her journey to St. Anne's was marked by relentless determination and a desire to prove that skill and compassion transcended societal prejudices. Maya's warmth and intellect earned her the admiration of patients, but her colleagues' subtle dismissals, ranging from misattributed successes to condescending remarks, were constant reminders of the barriers she faced. Despite this, Maya remained focused, driven by her late mother's mantra, "Excellence is the loudest protest." The hospital's CEO, Richard Calloway, was a man of contrasts. Charismatic yet aloof, his success masked deep-seated biases that influenced his leadership. His reputation for favoring those who mirrored his own background created a culture of quiet resentment among staff. Calloway's unexpected hospitalization brought him face-to-face with the very individuals he often overlooked, setting the stage for a profound reckoning. Maya's interactions with Calloway were initially strained, shaped by his dismissive demeanor and the assumptions of those around him. Yet, when his routine procedures spiraled into a life-threatening emergency, it was Maya's decisive expertise that turned the tide. Her unflinching focus and humanity in those critical moments left an indelible impression on Calloway, forcing him to confront his own prejudices. The aftermath of the incident rippled through St. Anne's, sparking difficult but necessary conversations about equity and respect. Maya, though reluctant to step into the spotlight, became a symbol of the change the hospital desperately needed. As Calloway began implementing reforms, their relationship evolved, marked by mutual respect and a shared commitment to fostering a more inclusive environment. Through her quiet resilience and extraordinary skill, Maya not only saved a life but also illuminated the path toward a more just and compassionate institution. Her story became a catalyst for transformation, proving that courage and integrity could dismantle even the most entrenched barriers. Dr. Maya Thompson, a trailblazing cardiologist at St. Anne's Hospital, uncovered a shocking secret during a critical surgery. The CEO's sudden health crisis stemmed from a misdiagnosed condition deliberately overlooked by a senior colleague to cover a malpractice scandal. As tensions rose, Maya faced a moral dilemma: expose the truth and risk her career, or stay silent and uphold the hospital's reputation. Dr. Maya Thompson had one goal upon joining St. Anne's Hospital: to provide exceptional care while paving the way for inclusivity in a field often resistant to change. Her first obstacle arose swiftly when she encountered dismissive attitudes from colleagues who underestimated her based on her gender and race. Despite these challenges, Maya remained steadfast, focusing on her patients and building trust with her team. Her closest ally was Dr. Elena Park, a sharp-witted neurologist who shared Maya's vision of breaking barriers. Their friendship deepened as they supported each other through subtle workplace slights and systemic inequities. Together, they began to uncover unspoken biases embedded in hospital policies, sparking quiet but meaningful conversations. The turning point came when Maya was called to lead an emergency surgery for a high-profile patient, the hospital's CEO. Under immense pressure, she demonstrated extraordinary skill, earning the respect of even her harshest critics. Her success not only saved a life but also challenged the prejudices quietly ingrained in the institution. As Maya and Elena worked to address these systemic issues, they found unexpected allies among younger staff members inspired by their courage. Subplots emerged, including Maya mentoring a struggling intern and Elena advocating for equitable patient care. These efforts set the stage for a broader cultural shift within the hospital. Through resilience and collaboration, Maya began to see her goal materialize, not just in her own career, but in the gradual transformation of St. Anne's into a place where excellence was measured by ability, not bias. The journey was far from over, but the seeds of change had been sown. In the heart of St. Anne's Hospital, Dr. Maya Thompson's morning rounds were interrupted by an urgent page. An elderly patient in the ICU had gone into cardiac arrest. Rushing to the scene, Maya was startled to find the patient was none other than the hospital's CEO, admitted for what had been deemed a routine procedure. The room was chaotic, with staff scrambling, unsure how to proceed. Maya immediately took charge, her calm authority cutting through the panic as she directed the team with precision. As she worked to stabilize him, the CEO's visiting family hesitated, questioning her competence aloud. Their doubt was palpable, fueled by unspoken prejudices. Maya, undeterred, focused on the task at hand, her expertise silencing the room as her decisive actions brought the man back from the brink. The tension lingered, but the unspoken shift in perception was undeniable. Later that day, whispers of the incident spread through the hospital, sparking conversations among staff. The question of why her qualifications were doubted in the first place lingered like a shadow over the institution. Maya, though exhausted, found herself motivated to confront the systemic biases that had long gone unchecked. The CEO, recovering and visibly shaken, requested to meet her. Humbled by the experience, he acknowledged his own prejudices and vowed to lead the hospital toward meaningful change. For Maya, the moment marked not just a professional triumph but the beginning of a broader fight for equity within the walls of St. Anne's. The days following the CEO's recovery brought a whirlwind of changes to St. Anne's. Dr. Maya Thompson's remarkable composure under pressure had not only saved a life but also sparked a ripple effect across the hospital. Yet, her journey was far from over. As discussions about bias gained momentum, an internal review committee was formed, tasked with uncovering systemic inequalities within the institution. Maya was invited to join, her perspective deemed invaluable. Meanwhile, a new challenge emerged in the form of Dr. Andrew Carlisle, a renowned but notoriously egotistical surgeon who had recently transferred to St. known for his brilliance but also his abrasive demeanor. Carlisle's skepticism of Maya's capabilities was thinly veiled. Their first collaboration, a high-stakes, multi-hour surgery, would test not only their skills but also their ability to set aside differences for the sake of their patient. Outside the operating room, the hospital's staff began to grapple with the implications of the CEO's newfound advocacy for diversity. Some welcomed the change, while others resisted, clinging to old prejudices. Among the skeptics was nurse supervisor Evelyn Grant, whose subtle but persistent undermining of Maya's authority added another layer of tension to the already strained environment. Amid these challenges, Maya found an unexpected ally in Dr. Sofia Alvarez, a pediatric oncologist with a reputation for championing underrepresented voices. Sofia's warmth and determination provided Maya with a much-needed sense of camaraderie, and together, they began to envision a mentorship program aimed at supporting young medical professionals from diverse backgrounds. As these dynamics unfolded, Maya also faced personal struggles. Her younger brother, Jordan, a talented artist, had recently been hospitalized following a car accident. Balancing her demanding career with her role as his primary caregiver stretched her resilience to its limits. Yet, through it all, her unwavering commitment to her patients and her principles remained a guiding light. The hospital, once a symbol of unchallenged prestige, now stood at a crossroads. With tensions simmering and alliances forming, the stage was set for a profound transformation, one that would demand courage, collaboration, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. The tension at St. Anne's deepened as whispers of the CEO's near-death experience spread, mingling with long-standing frustrations among staff. Dr. Maya Thompson, now thrust into the spotlight, found herself balancing newfound recognition with the lingering microaggressions that refused to dissipate overnight. Meanwhile, a junior nurse confided in Maya about being overlooked for promotions, hinting at systemic issues that extended far beyond her own experiences. In the midst of this, Maya discovered discrepancies in patient care data, revealing that certain demographics received fewer advanced treatments. She hesitated, exposing this could jeopardize her fragile position at the hospital, but staying silent felt like complicity. The stakes grew higher when a senior doctor, threatened by Maya's rising influence, began subtly undermining her decisions in critical cases. Simultaneously, the CEO, still recovering, grappled with his own biases. A heartfelt conversation with Maya during a follow-up visit challenged his worldview, but his attempts at reform faced resistance from entrenched board members. Maya, torn between her duty to her patients and the growing political undertones of her role, found solace in her friendship with Dr. Elena Park, a neurosurgeon fighting her own battles against gender discrimination. As tensions escalated, a high-profile patient's case brought everything to a head. The patient's treatment plan highlighted the hospital's inequities, forcing Maya to confront both her colleagues and the administration. Each decision carried weight, not just for her career, but for the institution's future. The tension within St. Anne's Hospital reached a boiling point as Dr. Maya Thompson's quiet perseverance began to clash with the institution's long-standing biases. After saving the CEO's life, Maya noticed subtle shifts in how her colleagues interacted with her, some offering newfound respect, while others clung to their prejudices, unwilling to confront uncomfortable truths. In a pivotal meeting, the CEO publicly acknowledged his past biases, vowing to implement diversity training and equitable hiring practices. His words, though sincere, were met with skepticism by many, including Maya, who had learned to measure change through action, not promises. Still, the moment marked a significant shift in the hospital's culture. Meanwhile, Maya found herself mentoring a young intern, Elena, who struggled with similar challenges. Their bond deepened as Maya shared her own experiences, inspiring Elena to navigate the system with resilience and integrity. This mentorship became a source of strength for both women, underscoring the importance of solidarity in the face of adversity. As the hospital prepared for a high-profile medical conference, Maya was unexpectedly chosen to lead a groundbreaking presentation. The decision stirred controversy among some senior staff, revealing lingering tensions. Undeterred, Maya poured herself into the project, determined to prove that her place at St. Anne's was earned through merit, not tokenism. The stage was set for a climactic confrontation, where Maya's work would either solidify her reputation or be dismissed by those unwilling to change. Yet, for Maya, the stakes extended beyond personal validation. This was an opportunity to challenge the system and redefine what leadership truly meant. Dr. Maya Thompson's reputation quietly grew among her peers, though whispers of doubt still lingered in certain corners of St. Anne's Hospital. Some questioned whether her recent success was mere luck, a sentiment that did not escape her notice. Despite this, she remained steadfast, focusing on her patients and building alliances with like-minded colleagues who admired her skill and integrity. Among them was Dr. Elena Ruiz, a sharp and empathetic neurologist who had faced her own battles against bias. Together, they formed a quiet but formidable partnership, championing each other in an environment often resistant to change. Meanwhile, the CEO's recovery brought unexpected complexities. While publicly expressing gratitude toward Maya, his private demeanor remained guarded, his transformation incomplete. Maya sensed the fragility of his newfound humility, knowing that true change required more than a single life-altering event. Yet, she chose to remain patient, her actions speaking louder than words. Her interactions with him were professional but firm, subtly challenging his lingering assumptions without confrontation. As tension simmered, a new challenge emerged. A high-profile patient, a prominent philanthropist with connections to the hospital board, was admitted under Maya's care. The case was complex, requiring collaboration across departments. However, a senior surgeon, Dr. Charles Whitman, subtly undermined Maya's authority during initial discussions, questioning her decisions in front of the team. Elena, unwilling to let such behavior slide, intervened, backing Maya with evidence and precision. The moment exposed the fractures within the hospital's culture but also solidified Maya and Elena's alliance. Behind the scenes, a betrayal brewed. A junior administrator, eager to curry favor with the CEO, leaked details of Maya's earlier misidentification incident to the press, spinning it as a story of institutional failure. The move backfired. Public outrage shifted focus to the hospital's systemic issues, forcing the board to announce an internal review. Maya, though blindsided, used the opportunity to advocate for meaningful reforms, her voice now impossible to ignore. As the hospital braced for scrutiny, Maya found herself at a crossroads. The philanthropist's condition worsened unexpectedly, requiring a risky procedure. Whitman, despite his earlier doubts, deferred to Maya's expertise, a reluctant but significant gesture of respect. The operation's success further cemented her status, but Maya knew the road ahead remained fraught with challenges. The stage was set for deeper confrontations, alliances tested, and the possibility of lasting change. The hospital prepared for its annual gala, a high-profile event where reputations were cemented and alliances formed. Dr. Maya Thompson, though reluctant, was invited to speak about her recent success. The tension simmered as whispers of her encounter with the CEO circulated, leaving her under scrutiny from peers who questioned whether her rise was earned or circumstantial. Meanwhile, Maya faced a critical challenge. A young patient, Emma, required an experimental procedure to survive. The hospital board, led by the CEO, hesitated to approve it due to cost and risk. Maya, driven by her commitment to Emma, fought tirelessly, presenting data and advocating for the girl's chance at life. As the gala approached, Maya struggled with the weight of her dual battles, proving herself in a skeptical environment while striving to save Emma. Unexpectedly, the CEO privately approached her, admitting his biases and revealing a personal connection to Emma's case. His vulnerability hinted at his transformation but left Maya questioning his sincerity. On the night of the gala, Maya's speech became a defining moment. She spoke not of her achievements but of the hospital's duty to uphold its values, challenging everyone to confront their biases. Her words struck a chord, leaving the audience in contemplative silence. The next morning, the board approved Emma's procedure, with the CEO publicly crediting Maya's persistence. As Maya prepared for the operation, she felt the weight of expectations but focused on what mattered most, her patient. As the CEO recovered, he requested a private meeting with Dr. Maya Thompson, offering a heartfelt apology for his past biases. Maya accepted his words with grace, emphasizing the importance of systemic change over personal regret. Inspired by their conversation, the CEO initiated a hospital-wide diversity and inclusion program, pledging to dismantle the prejudices embedded in the institution's culture. Maya's colleagues, witnessing her unwavering professionalism, began to confront their own assumptions. Her success became a rallying point for other underrepresented staff, who found renewed confidence to speak up and demand equity. Subtle shifts in attitudes began to ripple through St. Anne's, signaling the start of meaningful transformation. Meanwhile, Maya found herself reflecting on her journey. The challenges she faced had tested her resolve but also strengthened her purpose. She resolved to mentor young professionals from marginalized backgrounds, ensuring they had the support she had often lacked. Her quiet revolution extended beyond the hospital walls, inspiring a broader conversation about representation in medicine. The hospital's culture evolved, not through grand gestures but through deliberate action and accountability. Maya's story became a symbol of resilience and the power of one voice to spark change. Now, it's your turn. Challenge assumptions, amplify diverse voices, and advocate for equity in your own sphere. Progress begins with action. The events at St. Anne's Hospital left an indelible mark on all who witnessed them. Dr. Maya Thompson's unwavering professionalism and humanity not only saved a life but also exposed the deep-seated biases that had lingered unchallenged for too long. Her actions became a catalyst for institutional introspection, sparking reforms aimed at fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion within the hospital's culture. For the CEO, the experience was transformative. Humbled by his near-death encounter and the grace of the very person he had underestimated, he championed initiatives to ensure that respect and merit, not prejudice, defined St. Anne's ethos. His journey from ignorance to advocacy underscored the power of personal growth. Maya, though reluctant to be hailed as a hero, embraced her role as a quiet trailblazer. Her courage inspired colleagues to confront their own biases, creating ripples of change that extended far beyond the hospital walls. Her story became a reminder that excellence transcends stereotypes and that character, not assumptions, defines true leadership. As St. Anne's embarked on a new chapter, the narrative served as a call to action, to challenge prejudice, celebrate diversity, and uphold the dignity of every individual. In Maya's triumph, the hospital rediscovered its purpose, proving that progress begins with courage and compassion. Let this story remind us all, change starts with one voice, one action, one moment. Will you rise to the challenge?